Alright, I'm back guys, I'm sorry about that. So I wanted that to be dark gray, the start tile, alright. And we're fine with that. And we're just going to add a bunch of stuff to our BP tile, a bunch of variables to control what do you want to see in the tiles. The modular blocks are just a way to make it so all of our tiles have a physical appearance, but you might want to get rid of them as soon as you start adding stuff to your adding real tiles, I mean handcrafted tiles to your BP tile. So we want to have a boolean called show modular blocks, and we want to duplicate that booleans, show directions, and show cells to start, like that. And it makes me want to rename that function update steps to start. This is going to be renamed update cells to start, like that. And then we want to hit compile. And we also want to make it so our tiles are being updated during while in the editor. So we are going to generate the connectors in there, like that. So we are destroying components. We are doing quite a lot of stuff, but we just want to add a new function for now. Destroy modular blocks. We're going to duplicate that. Destroy text render and destroy directions arrow, like that. So we're going to grab everything in system. I mean all the direction in system. We're going to destroy the components, like that. We're going to pin everything. Text render, same, like that. And modular blocks, we're going to grab everything in our modular blocks list, like that. And this is going to be the longer one, especially since we already went through that in the previous video, but we do not care. We're going to do that real fast. It doesn't matter to redo stuff, as long as you are factorizing things well, which is not always the case in this series of tutorials, but it's okay. So we have these three functions, and what do we want to do here? We want to say that in event begin play, we want to sequence, or we already got a sequence. We want to add another bunch of stuff in there. We want to create a new function, destroy debug objects, and we're going to call that functions in there, destroy debug objects. And in that function, we're going to grab our branches, and we're going to add a sequence. Do we show directions? If not, we destroy them. Do we actually show cells to start? Do we actually show the modular blocks? If not, we're just going to destroy them, like that. Don't pin the true outcome of the branch. Don't make the same mistake than I did when I prototyped that in the first place. So, and it's unchecked by default, so we're going to check them. We're going to hit compile. We're going to hit save. And I pressed play too quickly. I'm going to hit play. So we still have everything we needed. And then, oh, we got an error. Okay, so I know what's wrong. That's part of the bug I wanted to fix. So our BP tile has base values. So this is, we're going to move our variables in the matrix list. Like that, we're going to make them public. We're going to hit compile. And you might think that since we created these variables in the parent class and we gave them the base value of true, you might think that child classes have the base value set to true, but it's not the case. We have some of our tiles have errors, so we're going to open all of our base tiles type and we're going to fix errors in the class defaults. We can see we have errors regarding the tile type of our start tile, so we're going to make that a start tile. We're going to uncheck that box by default, and we're going to check for the replacement tile, same thing. Generic tile, okay. End tile, this is going to be an end tile. Background tile, it's okay. We're going to save them and compile them like that, and we're going to close them. And then I think we have the same kind of issues in the other tile, so we're just going to make sure our background tiles are okay. If we check on the right side in there, the background tile seems not to have reset, so we can ignore that. The end tile seems okay. The generic tile, it seems okay. The replacement tile and the other replacement tile is not okay. You can see the e-tile type is not okay, so we fixed it. We can close them, and I think we actually, so the start tile, they are not okay. We can see it's not good. So we are resetting these values. We can hit save. And if we hit play, do we have errors? When we quit, it says that we are destroying connectors somewhere in our tile, and I'm not sure if that comes from what I expected in the beginning or from an error I did. So if we do not show direction, we destroy the objects, and they are checked by default. So I think so we're just going to destroy the generate connectors in there because we are already doing this in our construction script. And I think that the errors comes from there. So if I'm hitting play, all right, we add a bug we never had in our previous videos. So I'm just going to, what was wrong? I'm just going to unpin the generate connectors in there, and I'm going to move that here. And then I'm going to hit compile. Hit save, hit play. So sometimes the start tile is failing to spawn, and I do not know why. So I'm just going to let that aside for now and check what's wrong offline. We're just going to fix some of the other stuff I noticed while cleaning up. So in our BP level generator, at some point in our draw end tile, I'm doing a strange thing in there. In our draw end tile in the first block, generic tile, is that a generic tile? If so, you move on. If not, you check if that's a generic tile or an additional tile. I don't know why I'm using an or in there. We don't need to. We can just plug that. Like that, I also wanted to add something to our BP tile. I wanted to add a child actor like that, and the child actor will be our environment tile. So you might know what that is if you followed the previous videos. So this will be the real tile, the handcrafted tile we created. So the logic will be that we generate a tile in our scene, we convert that to a blueprint, and we feed the child actor there with the blueprint we generated, like that. And I think that's what I wanted to do. So we still have a bug, and I'm really not sure where it comes from. We're just going to check real quick why it might bug. If we say that we have random locations for our directions, so the bug does not come from the directions. Sometimes it just does not spawn our start tile, so I think I know why. If we open up our start tiles, the start tile from south has no connection. We're going to add one. The northern one has one, and the eastern one has one. So if we hit play, it's always going to spawn. So that's the kind of errors the blueprint does. Sometimes it resets its values, or maybe I accidentally reset that when we were fixing our errors. So if I'm saying I want a south start tile, hitting play, so we still have the start tile errors coming from the force tile. And I said that if we add a force tile at the start of the dungeon, it ruins our start tile directions logic. And maybe we can just add a quick workaround by saying that the start progression threshold is not where it is currently. So when we calculate the direction, we say that the start is somewhere in between 0 and 1%, and we're going to say that start is somewhere in between 1% and 2%, or it's going to fail 1% or 2%. This is going to fail. So so it's not 1% or 2%. That's the first tile or the second tile. So we're going to do it like that. And we're then going to say that early somewhere in between that and this. We're going to hit compile. That's a quick workaround. I'm not sure it's going to work. So we say we have a corridor at the start and we have a southern start tile direction, but the start tile is obviously not going south. So if we delete our force tile, hit save, hit play, it's still not south. So I'm not sure why. Why is it not working? The logic should be working. So we actually fixed that. So we're going to check that in the next video. So that's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.